Sydney, first, thanks for coming.
Of course, thank you for having me.
So how have you been holding up with the pandemic so far?
I mean, it's been fine. I'm usually a homebody anyway, so being at home and staying at home is fine. But initially, when it first started, I was out in Kansas, and so I had to come back home to finish my semester. And graduating during the pandemic was different, but I mean, it's fine. It kind of helped me stay productive with music, for sure.
I feel that. So the last time I interviewed you was 2019. We talked about a lot then, but I want to start from the beginning.
Okay.
What part of Chicago did you grow up in?
North Side. Yes. North Side, Avenue Park.
And then, at what point did you realize that you wanted to start creating music?
I feel like I've always been sort of in that creative environment, so I was always surrounded by like piano, Rhodes piano, guitar, so I kind of like was immersed into that. You know, my mom would sing and we would harmonize in the car, and so I don't know, like I feel like I always kind of sang, and then in high school that's when I started to do my own thing.
So you attended Sen.
Yes.
How was your time there?
It was fun. It was definitely an experience, just because I went there for fine arts music. So I had a lot of music-focused classes. I did a lot of like band stuff. You know, I did choir. We did a lot of performances. But that was really when I figured out that I wanted to do like my own solo thing, because I was like performing with other people, which was cool. But that's when I really figured out, you know, I want to do this by myself.
And then what made you decide to go to Kansas for college?
Oh, good question. I wanted something, I knew I didn't want to stay in Chicago if I had the opportunity to kind of leave. So I had like a relative that went to KU and she really enjoyed it. So I was like, okay, why not? Like, you know, I'm really into basketball, and so they have a really good basketball program. Not that I played there, but no, I was just really interested, and then I visited the campus, and I was like, wow, felt like home, so I was like, I might as well. So yeah.
How was your experience there?
Oh, it was great. I met like the best friends that I could ever have. And I don't know, I feel like it kind of helped me. Well, I mean, college like kind of forms you in a way, like it figures out what you want to do. And so having my own space really helped me with that, you know, by setting up a studio in my room. I mean, it literally birthed like all my projects there, so I thought it was a very great experience.
So what was it like balancing school with music?
Definitely had my priorities, which was homework, school, had to get that out the way, but it's like, you know, when creativity hits you, it's like, it's not something that I kind of want to like push to the side. So whenever I had an idea or like I wanted to work on something, you know, it was right there for me to record, or, you know, just I had time management as well, so I was kind of good with that. So it was a good balance.
So you grew up in a house with other creatives as well. Your father being a musician and an author, your mom was a designer, and your sister being into fashion and a visual artist. How was it like constantly being surrounded by family members that have that same creative energy?
I feel like we all feed off of each other. We all help each other. It's a great environment to be in because you get all different perspectives, and just we all come from, I mean, we're all creative, but just coming from different like outlets of creativity, it definitely helps. And I'm just super blessed to, you know, have them by my side, and it's, you know, it's the best thing I could probably ask for. Yeah.
So last year you dropped your project, Miss August.
Yes.
Was it weird dropping a project in the middle of a pandemic?
I was a little hesitant, I'm not gonna lie. Especially with like, yeah, the pandemic, everyone was super misplaced. There was just living in that unknown. And then like the BLM movement, yeah, I felt like it wasn't the right time for, you know, me to drop a project. But then like just talking to my manager, we kind of talked it through, and it kind of came to the realization that like what we really need right now is like love, and I wanted to share happiness and like compassion with people, because we definitely need a lot more love in the world. So I thought that's kind of what I could bring.
What does that project mean to you almost a year later?
I don't know. I worked on that project out in Kansas. I feel like we finished it in Chicago. So just kind of touching like all those bases and just all the opportunities that I came upon through that process, it was like incredible. Cause like, I mean, during that time, that's when I met Durk, and like having his support with that, it was crazy. But I don't know, it was also like a end of a chapter for me in a way, cause it was my independent like debut album. So I was like super excited about that. But it was also like the close of a chapter to my independent career.
Not even for the interview, I'm just curious. Was living in Kansas like trash?
Okay, so it wasn't like trash. Just because of where the university is, it's like, you know, there's a lot of college kids. It's like a college town. There is residential area. It's not like Hicks, like, you know, people aren't like, that's other parts of Kansas. But I mean, like, it was like a little town, which was fun, and definitely like a good contrast from coming back from Chicago and stuff. But
I drove through Kansas once, and I just imagine it being like
sunfield or sunflower field.
That's all I saw. Just nothing.
Yeah, no, definitely, because we took a road trip out there, and it's like as you enter Kansas, it's like, you know, dead, like plain fields. But no, like there are definitely like little towns in Kansas that are enjoyable. Other areas not, but you stay away from them.
That wasn't for the interview.
Okay, that's fine.
So you recently just dropped those 2 new singles.
Yes.
Can you talk about the creation process behind those?
Yeah, okay, so very different songs. I forgot which, I did How Does It Feel first. That started in Atlanta. You know, being signed to OTF, it opened me up to a lot of new artists and great opportunities. So I had a session. 4 producers came through, Bezo, Dre, Soulful, Xeris. We had a session that same day with this artist, Jason. He helped write the song. It was so cool just like being in that environment, because that was like my second time in Atlanta. So it's like that, it was just a different energy, you know, being in the studio, as opposed to like just being in my room here creating a song. So there was a lot of collaboration that went into that. Jason actually started kind of the melody to it, so like the chorus melody, and then I sort of filled it out when I came back home, because I recorded that in my room and then sent my vocals to Castle, who engineers all my stuff. Shout out Castle. So it was really fun, because, you know, it was a little bit of Atlanta, a little bit of Chicago coming together. And then for No Explanation, I actually produced it. And I produced it with the help of Castle as well. He threw the 808s on there and some Rhodes piano kind of hidden. And yeah, that was really fun, just because like the 2 songs kind of contrast each other, and kind of being the first double single, I guess, coming after my album, I wanted it to be a little different, so I think that's what I sort of achieved.
Was that your first time producing for yourself?
No, I produced Say You Love Me on my album, and I produced another one on there. I think it might have been, I'm blanking now. I forgot what the other one was, but I'll get back to you.
How did you first get connected with Lil Durk?
He reached out to me on Instagram. It was my birthday. And Castle posted a video of me being just a goof, and his song was playing, and I was just, you know, mouthing his lyrics. And then I reposted that video that Castle posted, tagged Durk. Somehow he saw it, asked if I was signed, loved my sound, and it kind of went from there. So, yeah, it was a crazy birthday. Yeah, it was fun. And I was on campus, walking to class.
That's crazy.
I know, it was weird.
So how did it feel to be one of the, 3 artists featured on his recent deluxe?
I still don't have the words to, explain that. Just because, I listened to Durk in high school, and, now being part of his label, what? That's wild. Especially coming out of Chicago, I don't know, you don't see that a lot. You don't see a lot of people helping each other out in Chicago, so I just respect him so much, and, knowing that he believes in what I love to do, that's motivation itself as well, so it's surreal.
You know what's interesting is, last time I interviewed you was May of 2019. And when I asked you artists who you wanted to work with in the future, you said 4 artists. You said Tink, I think you said Chance, but one of them was Durk.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I thought that was so dope. It was very
I know.
full circle moment.
It's very full circle. It's so crazy because I've had opportunities that I've worked with. I've worked with D Brooks exclusive. We were in the studio once, and he worked with Durk, and in my mind I was like, oh my god, it'd be so cool to get Durk on this. And then I don't even know when he reached out, 2019. Just reaching out to me, you signed? It was so crazy. Yeah.
So with that in mind, from the last interview, who are some artists that you want to work with in the future?
Tink still. Herb. Cole. Chance still. Yeah, probably those 4 that I can think of right now. Polo G.
That Chance one's probably very doable.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. Yeah. Just to I don't know, I've never met him, but I feel like we'd click on a song.
I asked this to every Chicago artist, right? So what do you think is missing in the Chicago music community? There's always that conversation of Chicago doesn't have what LA has or what Atlanta has or what New York has. What do you think is missing here?
I feel like Chicago is definitely missing support of one another, because just seeing that in Atlanta, everyone is supportive of each other. Some of the same artists will come through, help each other out in the studio, collab so much, and I feel like that's definitely what's missing in Chicago, just that support. Especially all of us being from the same city, that's why I respect Durk so much, just because he's helping out artists, underground artists like me, to help get our voice heard. So I think it's just missing support.
And then my last question I have for you is, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
21? Oh my god. Well, hopefully I have at least 1 tour under my belt whenever the pandemic stops, or slows down. 5 years, I don't know, probably with a cute little family. I don't know about kids yet, just because that's something you gotta figure out. But having just a tour under my belt, I don't know, a couple projects done. I don't know, I just don't have expectations. I just want to see where my path takes me. I don't know, that might be a weird answer, but I just don't have any expectations of what kind of the future holds. I don't know, I'm down for whatever, so we'll see.